All right, guys, welcome back to the Wonderful Walks in Golf podcast. We are in the PXG headquarters in Philadelphia, joined by Andrew Patterson. Andrew, you've been a PXG fitter for a long time, so I'm excited to get into what you guys are doing special here in Philly and what PXG is offering since really the last time I think we as a brand dove into it, and maybe what you guys are doing new for 2023. So, Andrew, excited to have you, man.
Yeah, no, thanks so much for coming out. We appreciate it. It's really neat. PXG's been awesome. Some of the biggest things that we focus on here is how it's all tailored to each and every individual. Everything here is custom. Every set of clubs is going to be custom built specific for you. So there's endless options we have here. So it's all tailored around exactly what you need, what's going to better your golf game and ultimately make it more fun for you. So the store here is really cool. It's very unique. It's very different than, other golf stores. We have our 3 TrackMan fitting bays. We have our entire retail side with every apparel and accessory you can imagine. And then we even have our own putter fitting studio where we're at in here. So
when I walked in, I think, as you turn the corner past the front desk, it's like, this place is bigger than I expected, which is really cool. And you guys have a lot of dedicated spaces, like the putting studio we're in now and the 3 fitting bays. And you've really got specific areas for everything, and including merchandise, which I think is a lot of what people maybe don't understand about PXG is you guys make the polos and the outerwear and everything like that too, on top of that custom fitting experience, which I know we'll dive into a little bit later. But what are you guys doing, for the holidays specific to PXG, and what are we having some fun in talking about leading up to the Christmas season?
Yeah, so there's a lot of cool pieces and a lot of cool things happening. I know you mentioned the apparel. The apparel is a really big side of the business that's growing like crazy. We have an awesome new fall and winter line that came out. We recently just had a new Aloha collection that's come out with some, brighter red, white, and blue colors. But with the holidays, between apparel and the custom clubs, we have some really cool promotions going on with all of our equipment, no matter what it is. So, we have full bag promotions going right now. You can get fitted for driver the whole way down to putter. You design your setup exactly how you want it, and then we throw in a golf bag, a PXG hat, and a dozen balls as well. So it's a cool package. But yeah, there's sweet promotions running on just about everything: the irons, drivers.
It's wild to me, and I think, again, it's maybe just one of those like stigmas around PXG. When you guys first came out in 2013, you were known as like the expensive brand and whatnot. And I think you guys have started to rewrite the script on that a little bit. Like you were mentioning, you have multiple options to get fitted for a full bag, and you get the Parsons Xtreme golf bag and a hat. You have like a Gen 6, a Gen 5, a 0211 Chrome, and an 0211Z option. Talk about those options and really like where you can find a fit for everybody within the PXG brand.
Yeah, for sure. So Gen 6 is our flagship product right now. That's our newest and best product that's out. Definitely, cream of the crop, premium, top-notch stuff. But even going down from there, Gen 5, last year's product, we still sell Gen 5. We have Gen 5 full bags. You can get individual stuff from Gen 5. And then the 0211 and 0211Z is super special as well. The 0211 is more of like our entry-level product. It's at a little bit lower price point. So, anybody can get into PXG clubs. The 0211 irons, you will not find a better priced iron that performs like that. It is truly, truly spectacular. And then the nice thing with 0211Z is 0211Z is going to be focused for that very, very beginner golfer. So if you've never played before and you want to start the game out and you want to get an entry-level set and learn how to have fun, the 0211Z is the best option. And they're all, awesome price points at the same at or even below what the industry's at.
Yeah, I think that's what maybe surprised me the most when I was doing a little bit of research into PXG and what they offer. I think the full bag custom fit for a lot of people are like, oh, I got to get good before I do that. And you guys have an option to actually completely like upend that mythology of like, oh, you don't have to really get good. You can start with PXG2 and then work your way up as you kind of go through the progressions of getting as skilled as a better golfer. So that's cool to see.
Yeah, absolutely. I've had, a lot of people ask that question before, like, do I need to wait to get fitted because I'm not exactly where I want to be yet? And I would argue just the opposite. Like, you're practicing trying to get better in clubs that aren't fit for you. They're probably not the right length, the right weight, the right flex. So, you're trying to make your swing work with clubs clubs that aren't fit for your golf swing. So it's always best to get fit first.
For sure. And I think it's exciting to see that beginner option, because I know a lot of beginners specifically, and probably with the PXG brand, of having so many different options of how to get fit and how to tailor the golf club with every single little weight to get it right for you, can be a little daunting as a beginner golfer to like, man, I don't want to go down that. It's scary to like not, because I don't understand it, or they don't know the full process. What advice do you have for beginners that maybe don't know anything about getting fit, obviously other than just coming in, but like to not be scared of that process?
Yeah, I would tell them, I mean, if they want to get better and have more fun, like obviously getting fitted is going to be beneficial, but when you come in and get fitted, it's a super fun process. You know, I know and understand some people might get nervous about hitting golf balls in front of someone else, but I mean, we're all golfers here, and no one here that's fitting you is playing on the PGA Tour. Like, we all hit bad golf shots. It's just a part of the game. So I think a lot of people are surprised at how fun the process is, and you know, how much they can learn through it. TrackMan is a super cool tool that we use to fit everybody. And even though it can be super advanced for those players that want to see that, we can keep it really simple and really easy to understand for those newer players that just want to learn how to get better and have fun with it.
Yeah, I think I know I've gone through it a couple times at different facilities, never specifically here at PXG, but the fitting process is a long one, and it can be fun, right, if you're in the right environment and have the right people around you. So I'm excited to dive into that a little later and see what it looks like here specifically at PXG, because I know if it's anything like you guys do the rest of the space here, it's going to be pretty special.
For sure. Yeah, it's a really cool process. All of the guys here are great. Obviously, the fitting bays are really neat. They're really big, and with endless options, it's really cool for those people that, you know, want to kind of dive into learning about different shafts and TrackMan numbers and how that can all benefit you. So
yeah, no, it's exciting. I know, and from the full swing fitting, we're sitting in the putting bay too, which I think is unique to PXG, because not a lot of other spaces around the East Coast even have like a specific putting fitting bay, and it's a lot of what people look over in the game of like actually going to get fit for a putter. And most of the time the question is, well, I don't even know where to go for that. So what do you guys do here specifically for the putting, fitting bay experience, and how does that operate within the whole PXG brand?
Yeah, so the putter side of things is probably one of the most important, if not the most important. And it is interesting because a lot of people aren't fitting for putters, and you use your putter every single hole. And I know everyone out there leaves putts out there that could drastically, you know, drop their handicap. So we have a space for it in here. We use TrackMan with our putter fitting process. The super unique thing with our putter lineup is we can change any hosel type on the end of a putter shaft to go on any one of our putter heads. So if you look and you're shopping for a putter, you know, you're going to pick one out that you like the look of, and if it feels good, you're just going to kind of roll with it. Well, the three different types of hosels that we offer, they're going to drastically change your putting stroke, and what that putting stroke looks like for you and what it might look like for me is going to be different. So we can really tailor a putter in here to make it work best for you, to get the face square, to make your tempo good, make your skid distance good. So there's a lot of cool things that we look at in here, but from a putter perspective, not a lot of people can customize putters like us, so it's definitely a good part.
No, I mean, I'm looking around, I see all kinds of mallets and blades. It doesn't look like there's a style of head that's been looked over when PXG's made putters, and I think that's really cool to see too. You know, when you look at a custom putter, there's so many options sometimes you don't know where to start, and I think a studio like this that starts breaking it down into the statistics of what might fit you better as a putter go a long way in helping you choose that process, instead of thinking, oh, I made 3 out of 4 that I hit on that random putting green one day, and that's just the putter I'm going to go with for the next 6 years, right?
Right. Yeah, no, we see that all the time, and it's super funny because even before, you know, I played PXG, I picked a putter I liked the look of and went with it. And once I got fitted and started to understand the process of the different shafts and lengths and weights and how this can all help me, I look back now and I'm like, man, I could have been so much better years prior if I had gotten fitted. But it's a newer thing now, and I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, more companies start fitting and customizing like this with putters. But it definitely sets us up with an advantage, and they've been awesome. So, yeah.
No, I think one thing I'm curious about too, as I look around at the different putters, is there one specific like milling style PXG has, or how many different options as far as like actual putter, design and material do you guys mess with when it comes to PXG, and how many options do people have?
Yeah, so there's a ton of options. You can see a couple here, I'm sure, but there's 7 mallet heads right now. There's 4 blade heads right now. All of those go on. I said earlier we had 3 different hosel types. We can really do 4 different options. And then on each of these, they're all going to have a different weighting system on the bottom. Some of them might have 2 weights, some of them might have 4, and they're all going to be positioned in a different spot. So between all of that and looking at the data, like there's endless options we can really put you in. And then that doesn't even get us into, the grip discussion as well with putter. We probably have close to 10 different grip options as well. So it's really, really neat. All of our putters are fully milled. We use premium alloy steel. They have a pyramid face structure on every putter, which is made to make putts come off more forgiving whenever you hit putts a little bit. So it's definitely unique. But the Battle Ready 2 series that we have here behind us, they came out earlier this year. So that's our newest putting lineup right now.
Cool. That's exciting. And I think as someone who's tried to do their research on like what PXG offers, the website does a good job, but seeing it in person really puts it into perspective of how well made they are and how good they look, right? Sometimes pictures online don't always do it justice of how good a putter head looks, but I'm looking behind me and you guys can see at home that obviously these putters are well made and there's tons of different options. So definitely if you're looking for a putter fitting option, come to PXG, try it out. They've got the TrackMan, and as you were saying, you can just really break it down into all these different statistical levels of how you can actually find the right fit for you.
Yeah, for sure. And the best part too is when we do any type of fitting, we tell everyone to bring their current clubs in as well. And that way we can really compare apples to apples, and you can see the differences between the new setup that we're putting you in and what you're in now. And you can visually see it, but you can also see it from a data standpoint as well.
Awesome. Now, taking a step back from all the cool specs and the statistics, let's talk about your experience specifically with PXG. I know you've been in the golf industry for a while. You've had the opportunity to fit here in Philly and also in York, Pennsylvania. What has the experience been with PXG compared to other brands? And maybe how does PXG kind of start to step themselves ahead of the competition when it comes to experience and just overall product at the end of the day?
Yeah, so we have a really tailored process, as I stated earlier. So typically whenever we have a fitting scheduled, whether it's myself or another fitter, whoever's going to be fitting that person the next day, we always call that person in advance. It's called our pre-qualifying phone call. And we'll have a 10-15 minute conversation with them, and we'll talk to them about their golf game. We'll ask them what their misses are, what are they looking to get out of their new equipment. And that gives us the time to really understand and know that individual, and really understand what they're trying to overcome in their golf game and what they're looking for in new equipment. Whenever the fitting process comes, we usually have everybody hit their current equipment. We'll break down all the numbers for them and show them where they're at. And then when we go through the fitting process, obviously we're trying to find equipment that's best for them from a data standpoint, but we also try to find what's best from a feel standpoint for them as well. If they like the look of something, if they don't like the look of something. So it's very specific to every individual. The coolest piece I think about our fitting process is the fitting process with us doesn't end when the fit's over and you buy equipment. Whenever you buy clubs from us, we offer what's called a free spec check appointment. You can call your fitter or call the store. You can come back any time of the year. Bring your clubs in that you got from us with PXG, and we'll have you hit them again. We'll check your specs, make sure they're still working for you. And the cool piece is if we ever need to make tweaks to them, we can change the lie angle on the club, we can change the loft, we can make tweaks to it so it continuously fits you as your game changes and as you get a little bit better, which I think is a really cool process. A lot of people, when they get fit, the fit ends once they get clubs, but for us, it's a continual relationship throughout their golf game for the rest of their career.
Which I think is super unique, and it starts to make you feel like you're on tour when you have that availability to come back and tweak things. And man, maybe it's just not right, and I want to see if I can get a little bit better. You're not having to like guess and hope on your own range back home of, well, maybe if I tweak this weight or that weight, it'll get better. You actually have a team behind you to go work on it with you and get better.
For sure, yeah. I mean, imagine going to the driving range and practicing and you're hitting golf balls and you're like, man, I don't know what tweak I need to make, but something might be off. I'm just going to call my PXG guy. You have a rep in your phone, you call him up. Hey, Drew, I want to come check you out and I want you to look at this. And we set it up and I'm there for you. So it's cool.
It's really funny. We just had this conversation on the podcast released this Friday morning of that exact statement with another OEM. I've went back and forth on changing my driver because we have all these clubs now in the modern game that you can tweak things and you can change the head and the lie angle. And you don't know if you're really doing yourself a service or not, other than just going out and beating balls. And with PXG, it seems like you have the opportunity to come in, get data analysis on those tweaks and make sure they're actually working for you versus just kind of playing a shot in the dark.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. And that's where, TrackMan can be super helpful is, you can see it as in black and white in there, what tweak needs to be made and, it'll support it. So it's cool. That's awesome.
It's really cool to see just the breakdown of data. I think if you look at the brand overall, at least my experience with seeing how PXG has evolved over the years, the product itself has always been so data driven, and there's been so much behind it from a specs oriented standpoint of Bob Parsons has really made sure that the product overall fits everybody and you can tweak to the minutia of detail to make it work for everybody. And it seems like through the fitting process and obviously the way the store is laid out, everything's thought about, which is really great to see. And I think when you're looking for a golf brand, that's what you want to see, because you can tell almost the work's been done for you and all you've got to come in do is swing the club and let the data speak for itself.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Come in, have fun, hang out, watch some golf, hit some golf shots, and you're going to leave with clubs that are without a doubt better. So it's all about fun.
No, I love that. Now speak about, being in Philly, PXG Philly in the King of Prussia area. Talk about the greater area overall and what you guys do for just the community. Do you bring in the community to experience this space? And what has made PXG Philly special to this region?
Yeah, so it's really unique. We've done a lot of really cool events in the store here. So one team we work with is called the PGA Hope program. The Philadelphia PGA section we work with, and it's kind of like a three-way partnership. We've worked with the PGA Hope, and the PGA Hope is any person who's retired or active military and has served. They're in a golf group where they can come to the store, they hang out, we'll have events with them where we do fittings, we do contests, we'll do, closest to the pinholes, long drives, and it gives PGA Hope a chance for new golfers that are retired or active military to come in, hang out, meet other vets, and, talk and hang out with golf. So that's been a really cool program. We've also done a few events now and have worked with the First Tee program in Philly, which is a junior program. So it's high school and down. It's, getting more juniors involved in golf and getting them active, which is sweet. So we've been able to bring them into the store, have fun games with them. So that's been really neat. But yeah, those are just two small ones there. That's cool.
Love it. I think I love seeing that you guys are involved with the veterans, being a veteran-run organization or owned organization at PXG. It's cool to see you guys give back to that locally. I think a lot of brands can talk about, we do this and we give back a little bit, but how do you affect the local community within your area that you actually reside? So it's cool to see you guys giving back to the game. I'm a big advocate of the First Tee, specifically to Maryland and the Baltimore area, but it's great to see you guys interacting with the First Tee of Philadelphia as well.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's really cool. It's all fun for us. Everything we do in here. I mean, obviously the store setup is so cool. It's hard not to have fun in here with everyone. So
yeah, I can imagine. I mean, we'll do a little walkthrough later, guys, that you can check out on our YouTube page. But there's just a lot going on in here of very modern and cool golf things, right? I think that's the fun part of PXG, and especially that I've seen with the apparel. You guys are pushing the boundaries of what you can do within the modern golf game while keeping it a little traditional touch to it. So it's cool to see what PXG is doing, and I'm excited to learn a little bit more as we walk out and through the rest of the facility, what you guys have to offer.
For sure, yeah, we'll have a good time. We'll walk you through all of it.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate the time, guys. As always, you can go to www.wonderfulwalksandgolf.com to check out more from us, from all of our latest podcasts to our YouTube page and our playing with professionals in the Ocean City, Maryland area coming up in the spring. So definitely check that out. Andrew, I appreciate the time. Guys, we're live here from PXG Philly, and we are just about to have ourselves a day. We're going to go get fit. We're going to check out the putter fitting station and see what PXG is all about.